Sozan uGogo nomkhulu. My name is Tandio Makanya, also known as uGogo Tandi. Um, I'm just gonna take a moment and just appreciate you guys for actually viewing this video, because it's been a long time coming. I've had a lot of discussions with people about certain things, and to be able to have this moment to actually share some of that knowledge with you guys is phenomenally important to me, and I really do appreciate your time and your data. So yeah, let's get into it, and I can't wait for you guys to see this. Okay, so guys, after consulting and really thinking about this in depth, I realized that the topic for today is so in depth that it actually requires a two-part series, or two-part version of it, because it's really and kahle kahle ithinta into eziningi. So it really needs for you guys to be able to kind of get a grasp on majority of the things. So I'm going to try and just unpack it as much as possible. And please note that in everything that I discuss, it's literally as pertaining to what I've learned going through this journey of Sangoma, going through the journey of Uktwasa. And it's things that my ancestors spoke to me, and so it was a combination of my ancestors and some of the things that I caught along the way. So angifuni umuntu ozothi I'm attacking somebody or this is pertaining to somebody. I don't really pay attention to what other people are doing. I always try to focus on what I want to do and what I've learned to do differently. Even nalanga twasakona, I learned that okay, this is how they do things, and I always want to make sure that I do things according to Umsamu, and what I've learned about Umsamu in general. So yeah, let's get into it. The topic for today is actually ancient ancestral laws as pertaining to what kind of healer you're going to become. And also, it's actually a two-sided coin, because it also touches on abantu abaya kwabantu abalaphai. Because what I found is that a lot of the times big figure bantu mina that have gone to other people and have consulted, and a lot of what they did having requested from umuntu lapha, because you can't it takes two, as they always say in English. In everything it takes two to tangle. So the blame is always on both sides, because if when ufika mina, right, as a healer, udinga ukusizwa, I can advise you and tell you, okay, this is how things are done, or Ganya, I can just give you what you're looking for. And that is always dangerous territory. So one of the things that I actually learned that happens is that you'll find somebody coming to you that needs help, and bephuma abanye abantu, and then uthole ukuthi no, kahle kahle, the things that person did that ended up leaving a lot more problems than what that person started with, is because benza izinto eziphambana nomsamo wakubo. Uyayibona? So for example, mina ngwakandlovu ngokwedlozi, right? So a lot of laws that I follow are actually more pertaining to abantu bakandlovu rather than abantu bamakhanya, but ngiphatha imvubo for both sides of the family. So both my mother's side and my father's side. So from my mother's side, Gandlov, if I decide to go to umuntu, right, I need help and I go to umuntu, and ngifuna, for example, because I'm in a relationship, ngifuna ukulesa indoda yami, ayibona, uthola ukuthi kaNdlovu edlozini lakithi abazwani with such things, right? First problem. Second problem, the person that I'm doing this to, now unabadala bakubo, and whether they practice, they're traditional or they're not traditional, but it doesn't change that lo muntu unabadala bakubo. So then the problem lies with, I'm doing something that my ancestors don't agree with, right? And I'm doing this thing, and kahle kahle, people don't tell you ukufaka abantu into kanjalo ukuthakatha. So in other words, when usuthatha abantu bakandoda, and you're making that person love you in a way that wasn't necessarily intended, into oyicreatile wena oyakhe wena, and if uhlangana ube nebhadi and that person unabadala bakubo, it can go other two ways. It can either kill the person or actually make that person violent. one of the ways that I learned, and I learned this from, I actually was having this discussion with my mother-in-law, who's also a Sangoma. You guys will get to meet her through the series as well. So we are having this discussion, and she told me a story. She said there was once where she twassed, and bear in mind, what twassa before I was even born or thought of. So she's been a Sangoma for over 30 years. And she said that la wa twasa kona yena, yayikhisha intando. Right, but umama loyo owayethwase kuyena, she would check like your energy and check what kind of person you are before I keep leyo nto yabo. And isikhathi esiningi wayikhiphela for people ukumisa imizi yabo yayibona leyo nto, because we all know that, you know, there's certain things that were done ukumisa imizi yabantu so that people can be in the relationships for basically till death do them part, so to speak. So ngokudalwa, it was meant to ukuthi, for example, if you had a husband or ayihambe eyodakwa meholile or methola imali and not come back home, you know, umisa imizi kanjalo to kind of like proper your husband to stay home, so to speak. So that's what old people thought they were trying to do. So she tells me that no, one day wayengekho and then kwakhisha intando. So you know that obviously when you go into a house that has healers, udla lowo muntu loyo uba namathwasa and so forth, so they have a lot of people that help them and they know how, you know, khishwa imithi kanjani and so forth. So yaphuma intando to a woman who was a fiance of this man, and ngathi phuma le ntando lena, she ended up having an irritation towards her husband because now he cannot function without her. When she goes to work, he would call and be like, when are you coming home? It became a relationship like that. Even Mctoya Bosch and daughter, like he'd be waiting outside with the toilet paper. So it became a situation like that. And so it kind of, I guess it became an annoyance to her. So aqala ukcheater. And she started cheating to the point where the husband could see, or the fiance could see. And then what happened was she left for a whole week, right? And during that week, the guy got kind of like got overwhelmed with emotions. He wrote a letter, a suicidal letter. And when he wrote that letter, he did indicate in the letter that to his parents that, look, don't ningasoli muntu. I did this out of love because I was overwhelmed with this woman's love. So he literally told every single thing that had happened. And then he hung himself. When he did that, intombazane isifika after a whole week, isifika isidumbu smile. And ever since, what she said was, Sangyali Sangoma sukuthi. So then she named lo mama lo nawayethatheng intando, and that ended up implicating le Sangoma in something that she had nothing to do with, because she thought ukuthi uyasiza ku umumuzi kanti usayilaya. So when you do things like that, I want you to always understand and make it very clear usukuthakatha. When you go to people and you ask for iskafulo, or you ask for things that ezokwakiwa, that's not necessarily cleansing yourself, lezo zinto zokuthakatha, and lezo zinto lezo hambe ziaffecte umsamu wakho. Uthola ukuthi into zakho ivalekile after years of being with you're with a man or you're with a woman that you weren't necessarily supposed to end up with. That wasn't your soulmate from the beginning. That's not somebody that your ancestors had in mind for you. So you're with somebody that was made for somebody else. Affect her. You can't even bear children because of his and ancestors, like there's always a debt to pay with abantu abangasekho. Like no matter what you do, you are always held accountable one way or another, because the mere fact that you make decisions out of emotion, that's why with Sulu, when you're going through Twasa, they teach you Guti, no matter what's happening around you, you cannot react, because the moment you react, you will not react as uthandiwe. You're gonna react as a person who's either angry or upset. And ugcina uswenza izinto ezohamba zibi debt when ukuthi no, the reason why this didn't come right was because you, whenever a couple of years ago, last month or last week, you did this. And then it ends up being a situation that takes months or even sometimes years to fix. And people don't get informed of those things. They end up making decisions because even nalento ukuthi that some people do ukuthi ukuba nemali engapheli. It was made so from the beginning of time, even biblically, ukuthi umuntu udaliwe ukuthi you have to work for something in order to get something. Anything that comes first, it's like even winning a lottery. Or okay, let me not go even that far. When somebody gives you money, gives you 1,000 rand, or we talk about those women, abaphiwa ama-slay queens, so to speak, right? I don't refer to them like that, but it's a term that's obviously used. Uthola ukuthi uphiwe 5,000, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that girl is not getting her ish together. Yabo mina kuthiwa nginendoda engipho 5,000 or 10,000 every other week. Ngabe nginalokhu. No, you wouldn't, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, whenever they're given like easy money and they know that they can make a call and get money, leo mala uyiboni because you didn't work for it. It's not something oyijulukele. Idaliwe ukuthi izophela fast. So from the beginning of time, biblically, it was made to be so. Ukuthi into iyasebenzelwa, and then masusebenzile uthola into ethile, and that's umnotho wakho. And ubonaga, whenever you've worked hard for something, you can always be accountable and say, you know what, I did this, I did that. Whereas if you didn't work for something, I've even been in those situations where I'd be getting cash like it's one's business. This was before in Dwasoyam. And till this day, I can't even tell you what I did with that money, So it's things that people do not really sit you down and say, by the way, bear in mind when you do this, this is the date you're going to answer for. Because even now, a guy will come to me, it's, what, they need help with this. They've had a situation. I've even had healers come to me and say, no, I had a situation, and then I remember even, this was about 6 months ago, I had a Sangoma come to me, we used to each other, and they used to come and ask about dreams and stuff like that, and we just communicate in that way. And then one day, the guy came to me and he's like, you know what, I really don't know what I need to do now anymore because umsebenzi wami usuvalekile, and I used to have so many people that are coming to me needing help. And the funny thing was, I was like, you know what, this is the time, because this is the time for me to say to him, wakho ukhipha umuthi omubi. And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, when I keep kanje, I'm glad you're actually admitting it, And ever since then, your ancestors bakuhlehlela. And he didn't even deny it. He was like, no, I remember I did ngakhipha umuthi onjalo, and this was the outcome out of that. And ever since, his ancestors bamhlehlela. And I mean, this guy was like, if you need a dream dissected, if you need umuthi, he's one of those people that knows those things very, very well. But ushawe isimo sokuthi he did something that he can't now come back from, because he can't fix that. You can't fix that somebody died out of umuthi wayewukhiphile. That is something that you can't change. Manje fanele uqale phansi ugeze, ubhizi uye emanzini, going to different types of amanzi to be able to wash, the outcomes and the badness that you had created through something that you had done. And so for me, that actually taught me one thing, Uguti. Yes, we are Sangomas in a modern world, and trust and believe that I'm as modern as they come. Ngafunde belungweni, ngakhule belungweni, uma wami wayesenza umlungu. Ngangihlala nabelungu endlini. Ekhaya kusindisiwe. So anything that is traditional, we had no part of. The only probably traditional thing that we did as a family was in the Bama Lobol. Other than that, we did not practice, we did not impepho. Ngaiqala ngokuthi ngene enkambini. I come from a family of ebefundisi, my uncles are befundisi. I have umamkhulu who's umfundisi. Like this is all I know. So when I went into this, my eyes got open to things that even some of the people engathwasa nabo don't even understand and don't even know, because of how old it's literally umgoma is in my lineage on both sides of my family, on my mother's side and my father's side, and ubona ukuthi this is something ongeke uzuyibalekele. So in knowing that, I was taught ukuthi inentwaso, and not by langathwasa khona, but by my ancestors in dreams, saying the laws don't change. Know that if you do 1 or 2 or 3, we will leave you. Know that if ever situations like this happen under our Umsamu, we will leave you. So they made it clear from the beginning where they stand. And people like to think that because we live in a modern world and we are modern Sangomas, Nyayis on the accent, guys, it's here, it's within, but it does not change that ancestral laws, amile, ate, awagobi, they're not bendable, they're not negotiable. Yabo, idlozi again uGogo last week. Umuntu ozovuka ungena. Idlozi is not something that engenayo, and that's another thing that just hits me all the time. Why when people describe ukuba nedlozi ukuthi langena, no, it's not. Don't describe it like a possession. It's something that you are born with. You come out of your mother's womb with it. So njoba, you come out of your mother's womb with it, and you grow up, and it's here. It is guiding you and protecting you, even in situations that you find yourself in. It's there. That's why a lot of people uthola ukuthi umuntu unedlozi but ulala nabantu abahlukene. Egcine senemoya kube ngathi they demonic. No, they're not demonic. They're just going against imithetho yedlozi lakubo. Ukuthi njengomuntu onedlozi, there's a way I need to carry myself. There's a way I need to do things. There's a way I need to say and build people. And you can't do that if you're gonna be just going and finding yourself in situations as Umsamu to the point where you don't know whether you're coming or going. So I think this is just one part that we touched up on, and I think next week I'm gonna touch up on it again and describe other things that affect you in terms of Umsamu, and then we're gonna move on. And I honestly want the series to be something that is openly honest, and we have these conversations, because in all honesty, mina personally, as umakhosi tell you, I'm tired of having to constantly ukulapha abantu ngenkinga eyidalwe yithina, that we're not telling people that this is what you're doing. Knowing noma kuthiwa uyawukhipha umuthi, yabo, okuthakatha noma kuthiwa uyawukhipha, but advise a person, then knowing that njobo wenza lento, it's going to affect umsamo wakho, make ukuthi abantu bakini abazwani now. Because in everything you do, mengikhipha umuthi mina la, yabo, uhamba nabantu bakithi, mase usufika lapha endlini usushisa impepho usugquma usuwenzani ngalo muthi, usuku usuhamba nabantu bakithi nabantu bakini. So know that in whatever you do, it will always affect umsamo wakho. And so in this series, let's talk, let's have these conversations, let's grasp understanding. It's enough of that. Bye.